Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. It's 12:15, and we're here to review the Shoshone and Kootenai County Juvenile Detention Housing Agreement. And I will turn it over to Mike.
Hello, how are you this afternoon?
Good.
Great to come talk to you this morning, this afternoon, about our upcoming changes in the agreement for the Region 1 Juvenile Detention Facility.
Mm-hmm.
I've submitted the agreement to you folks here last week for your perusal, and I've also put together some numbers to kind of give you an indication of the number of folks we've had in the facility, and I should say the number of days we've used, and also the cost.
Appreciate you doing this.
Yeah, and what I've simply done, don't fight now. I've just taken, with the help of the sheriff's office, who their budget has the juvenile detention in it, the juvenile or the justice budget. But I put this together with the assistance of Captain Lopez. He provided me their financial numbers. As you can see, in 2023, we had 263 bed dates. Doesn't mean we had 263 kids. We just used that many dates. And it cost the county just over $39,000.
Okay.
With the change that's coming in with this agreement, they've asked for an increase of to $225 per day. So that's why I've submitted the second number to give you an indication of what the change would be. For the fiscal year 23, it would increase it up to just over $59,000. In 2024, we used 114 days, which is much better. Of course, it's cheaper. It cost us just over $17,000. And if we put the increase into effect on that year, it would have cost us $25,000, or just over almost $26,000. And the current fiscal year, we've used 143 bed dates. We're projected to use a total of 245 if we stay on the same pace we're at. That's just averaging it out. And of course, the current cost is $21,450. That's what we have as of April. And if we go into with the effect of the $250 or $225,000 or $225, it would be $32,000. So you can see that it will increase, and we will have to be mindful of the budget for next year to make sure that falls into place. But you can see that we will stay within the same range that we're already budgeting. In 2023, they budgeted $50,000, and of course that was well short of what we had in our budget. And then the next year they had $40,000. And this current year is at $40,000. So it's all within that budget range. I think we just need to be mindful this next year when this agreement goes into effect to include that increase and be aware of it. And the other important thing is I want to recognize the Region 1 Detention. This is the first increase they've had since about 2015, 2013, somewhere in that area. So obviously, we're getting a pretty good deal for our dollars. This is a low number for the state of Idaho, so they've always been a good partner with us. So I'm happy that it's been submitted, and we have to recognize the increase in staff costs, the building costs, those types of things. So they've incurred the brunt of it, but they do have to find time to share it with us. And that's a major change in the agreement that you have before you. The other thing I want to make sure you're aware of, it starts October 1st. And that's why we have plenty of time to integrate that into the new budget year. So it's nothing that we have to be concerned about in this.
So it's about $20,000.
I don't think it'll be that much. I think
we should budget $59,000.
I think at this point, to be safe, I think it'd be 50.
50.
Just at the rate we're going at.
Okay.
And the sheriff's office may have a different opinion, but that's what I feel comfortable at this point recommending.
Okay.
And could you, just since the public will watch this and catch up, could you remind the board what this service does for, like who we're serving here, and what kind of the purpose of this agreement is for?
Okay, it's a part of the balanced approach to doing juvenile justice. We're looking at holding kids accountable and placing them in detention when their risk is high enough that the public needs to be safe. And sometimes the youth needs to be safe. So we're placing them in there for that. We also use it, especially on initial arrest. And we're not arresting folks that are, we're not placing them in custody if they have a misdemeanor. Unless, of course, it happens in front of an officer. We have to look at felony charges and the seriousness of that, and also look at the family situation or different opportunities where this child can be placed. We look at all different alternatives from detention. We do not want to place kids in detention unless it's the last resort. Does that help clarify?
Yeah, I understood it, but I wanted the public to understand that this is one of the options. This is not the only option.
No, we
don't have a facility here.
Correct.
It's in Kootenai County.
That's correct.
So, all we have here is a jail, and that's for adults.
Yeah.
Adults only, yep.
Okay.
Well, thank you for the heads up. Thank you for doing the numbers. And I guess we have to understand that costs are going up because we're experiencing the same thing in our county.
I'm sure it's with every single thing that you're dealing with.
Costs are going up. Our own costs to provide services are going up. Everything's going up.
Yeah. If there's any other information that when you're reviewing this, any questions, please contact me. If I can't answer it, we'll get the Region 1 detention staff. Their director is an excellent person. He put this together. And I also want to notify you that we've also had this go through the prosecutor's office and had those folks look through it and actually had found some corrections that need to be done. So we got that taken care of, and they put their stamp of approval. Of course, we all don't like the increase, but it's just part of doing business at this day and age. So unfortunately, so hopefully everybody understands, including our folks out there and taxpayers, that this is a good resource and it's used only when needed. It's nothing that we just automatically use every time we have a kid we deal with that isn't doing well.
Okay.
Why do you think we got such a break in 24? I mean, the numbers really went down.
I think what really happens is it only takes like 2 or 3 kids to really affect the cost. And we've had a couple of kids that have been charged with serious crimes, sex offenders. So they were being held for the safety of the environment they came from, because they victimized people that were in their home. And there wasn't a resource anywhere else. I know we've worked tirelessly with the Department of Health and Welfare for some of these cases, and we've avoided some detention costs. Another case is that we've had multiple violations on a youth, and at that point we had to hold them accountable for some of the things they were doing in the community, because they were putting themselves and the community at risk with some thefts. So we placed them in there, and the judge held them there until the next court date, which is up, 14 days. Racks up pretty quick.
Yeah.
So that's why you're seeing different numbers. The lower number in the fiscal year 24 really has to do with the less number of kids that have been placed in there, because we just haven't seen those types of crimes that.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. So, and hopefully, we are very cautious, because we have been given the opportunity to use unscheduled jail time at the discretion of the judge on request with an order. If kids need I'll call it a timeout, like a 2-day stint, we use that very sparingly and when appropriate. So Christy Miller, who's the deputy probation officer, is in charge of making those recommendations, and we both discuss it, and then we sign off and make sure it's what's best for the child, and also, I shouldn't say child, but juvenile, in this matter, and also for Shoshone County.
All right, thank you.
Yeah,
You're
thank
welcome.
Appreciate what you're both doing.
you. Yes.
We thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Okay, do we need to do a motion to approve the,
Well, all we're doing is changing what we're budgeting for next year, so that would go into our budget.
do we have to sign that though?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Oh, we need to
that's
do
a
a motion.
document that needs to be signed.
Motion to approve the,
Then I'll go ahead and motion to approve the new agreement with Kootenai.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And clerk?
And we don't normally charge for our autographs, so you're getting a real break. Getting a real break today, Mike.
Sydney might
Excellent. Excellent.
She charges.
And the invoice.
Thank you very much. Thank you for what you
Yes,
guys are
thank
doing.
you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
You need a
We
copy.
appreciate it. And we will make sure there's a copy for our county, and also we'll get this original to Kootenai County where it needs to be.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further